What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we are going over Bitcoin and the crypto prices as we are seeing the market starting to fall, and we are looking a little bit bearish as we're approaching the bottom side support of our descending wedge. Now, of course, I told you guys before that these are typically bullish reversal patterns, but are not guaranteed. The sentiment of the market can also have a heavy influence on it, and if we are going to start to see a push to the downside, we could be looking at a rather large drop towards the low 40,000s. Now, as we do approach this key support level, we are seeing some of our indicators turning bearish as well, seeing this 50 go through the 100 EMA and our 20 go through the 200 EMA. All of that to say that there is a little bit of an emergency going on right now. We need to be paying very close attention to what happens here, and in today's video I'm going to get you as prepared for it as I possibly can. Now, before we do go ahead and we get into the video, I actually did want to introduce you guys something. It was a challenge. It was something that was presented to me with a prize pool of over $1 million. I figured some of you might want to check it out. I always try to give back to y'all, and if there's an opportunity that you can make money through challenges, I'm always going to present it to you. So that's what we're going to do. Of course, while the market is down, we're looking for other ways to make money, and this is definitely one of them. So what we're going to take a quick look at for the next 60 seconds or so is going to be the Sky Network. So of course, this is going to be focused on a few different things. Definitely go check out sky.network so you can see all of their options here. But there's two things specifically I wanted to focus on. First is what they are. So the Sky Network is the only connector that combines the Internet of Things devices with blockchain technology, creating the blockchain of things. Our goal is to become the communication standard for IoT devices, just as Bluetooth technology is the standard for wireless connectivity. And of course, if you go to their website, bot.sky.network, you can see exactly how this works. They also are tokenized, so you can go ahead and actually see that they have been seeing some relatively decent price action for sure. Since we started to see the falls happening late in May, they've kind of seen just a consistent and gradual uptrend, and that's something you always like to see, especially as they are growing. But one thing that you can also check out is going to be the challenge, and this is what I'm the most excited about. So since they are focusing again on creating the blockchain of things and trying to figure out ways in which they can connect things, such as like, your Tesla car key and your door locks and all of these things using blockchain technology, they're actually going to be running a competition that will be rewarding 10 of the best projects with a prize pool of $1 million. So what this is going to look like is that the Sky Network Challenge is a contest that gives companies, startups, and individual developers the chance to generate further innovative ideas, concepts, and prototypes to use via the Sky Network blockchain. So while they're growing, they're also influencing other people to grow with them and to come up with ideas and give things a try. And then they will, of course, be rewarded heavily through their attempts and through some of their successes. So if you have a ready-made product, service, app, or just an idea and want to bring it to life, we can give you a guiding hand. Use our tech to achieve our common goals of building smart cities, sharing economies, DeFi, developing access control tools for security, and implementing Oracle and NFTs. So there are going to be multiple different categories within this challenge as well, in which you can take advantage of. So I definitely think this is something you all should go check out. I'm going to post their Telegram down below, as well as any other information you might need. Of course, I just want to be able to show you guys some opportunities for you to make money while we are seeing prices of cryptos falling, to kind of, either mitigate some of those losses or give you something to distract you from, of course, what the market's doing right now. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get into the emergency of the day, which is the fact that we are seeing a little bit of bearishness as we are approaching a key level of support. Now, first and foremost, what I want to pay attention to is the fact that we are healthily respecting key levels of resistance and key levels of support. And that's something that I always find to be extremely important, right? Because what I've noticed historically is that when we're entering into a bear market, that we will just see levels getting smashed through. I mean, no consolidation, no accumulation events, not really much of that. It is literally just boom, maybe a little bit of a bounce for a few days, and boom, a little bit of a bounce, and it's really nothing that's going to stop us from losing some of these levels, okay? But what we can see is that even as we have been in this gradual downtrend since November, we've been respecting these levels of support. And although we do see these black swan events like the BS from China and all that, we are holding these levels as we aren't seeing any manipulation, any of these big news events, okay? And so that's going to be incredibly important for us, because there is still the opportunity for Bitcoin's price to work its way back to the top side. So what we need to be paying the most amount of attention to right now is the daily charts, okay? What we can see is that we have a key level of support in which we will generally close at ever since December 5th, so about 15 days now. We found this key level of support. We've closed at it, reversed, closed at it, reversed, closed at it, reversed. So as we do approach this key level again, what we need to be looking for is, do we hold it? Do we close above this key level, and do we start to reverse tomorrow? Now, if we start to see the price closing at $45,400 or less, we have officially lost this level of support. And what becomes very likely at that point is that even if we see a short-term bounce, it becomes more and more likely that we see the breakdown to the downside, a very likely back towards $42,000. So what we need to be paying a very, very, very close eye on again is that we don't get the close below this level. Even if for the next 10 hours we start to fall below it, that's fine, as long as we see the push back up, as long as we see the bull step in and push this price back up and allow us to see the close above our key level of support. If this does not happen, again, there is a strong likelihood that we fall to the downside. Now, if we do see the price reversing and we start to see the closing again above this key level of support, we do need to be on the lookout for this break to the upside. It is extremely possible, okay? Now, although I was talking about the fact that we did see these bearish crosses happening in the market right now, which is definitely not a good sign, one thing we can also see looking at it from more of a long-term perspective is that we do still have this key level of support being pushed up by bullish divergence, okay? Now, what I mean by that is the fact that, as we can see here, we set in this low. Let's get rid of our EMAs. Let's get rid of our VPVR for a sec. We set this low. We set a low on the RSI. As we continued forward, we've not yet set a lower low from here. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, now what we can see is, again, since we have this higher low here, and we go looking at in respect to where our RSI is, we have come down to put in at the moment, obviously, a lower low. Now this is going to be almost as textbook of bullish divergence as we could possibly look for if we see the reversal in the setting of a new local high above $52,000. If we see a reversal on the Bitcoin price and we see a push above $52,000, we will successfully execute on bullish divergence from the quote-unquote oversold territory back towards 34 on the RSI, which is generally just about as bullish as it can possibly get for us to see a massive move back to the upside in the setting of a new all-time high. That is still on the table. So even if our price breaks to the downside right now, what we need to see is that we do not, again, set anything lower than realistically $40,000. If we come down and lose $40,000, this will be a justified move on the RSI. It will be an invalidated bullish divergence, and it will be the start, in my opinion, of what could be an extended level of downtrend, possibly even a back test towards the mid to low 30,000s. Okay, so we absolutely need to pay attention to, if we get the daily close here, are we able to get back above this support level? That daily close, boom, we need to get realistically a close above 45,000, and I'm gonna say $45,700. If we can do that, we're still in the good. We could be looking at the reversal. But if we see that closing, let's go ahead and say around $45,000 or less, there's a strong likelihood we do continue this push back to the downside, and do understand that if that happens, our alts are going to follow. So be paying very, very close attention to this. Today's video is not to say this is gonna happen or that's going to happen. You know, a lot of people say, so it can either go up or it can go down. And I want to let you know, technical analysis is the evaluation of the realm of possibilities with given percentage chances of possibilities. What that means is I can say, I think there's a 40% chance that we break to the upside and a 60% chance we break to the downside. And my goal is to be prepared for either option rather than putting 100% of my hope and my effort into one option and having the other one play out. So whenever someone comments that, I'm just going to timestamp this and I'm just going to let you know, we're not trying to predict the future. We're trying to assess the realm of possibilities. And what it's telling me is right now, we have a much stronger likelihood of breaking to the downside if we are not able to close above this key level of support. So keep an eye out on the daily close, watch it like a hawk, keep your notifications on. And if we start to close there, we are likelihood is we're going to see this push back to the downside, okay? So with that being said, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I don't mean to fearmonger. I don't mean to make you guys nervous or anxious, but I have to give you my honest opinion, and my honest opinion is that we absolutely need to see the close above about $45,700, or if we break to the downside, we absolutely cannot lose $40,000, okay? So we'll keep an eye on it. I'll, of course, keep you guys as up to date as I possibly can. If you guys did enjoy today's video, do let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. We're going to kind of pull back a little bit on individual altcoin analysis as it is all focused on Bitcoin right now. This is what's moving the market, and that's what our focus is going to be on until otherwise. So with that being said, of course, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.